Welcome to another edition of the magazine. Today we're here with Braley Freire, and we haven't seen you, Braley, for over 3 years, pretty much, when you were on our show. And you were at the Masonic Lodge building then.
Yes.
And now, lots changed.
It
So
has.
tell us about Be Balanced Fitness, your ownership, your educational background, and kind of update our audience on what's going on.
So I made 4 years in business this year. My educational background, I have a bachelor's in science and exercise sports science and a minor in sports administration. I have a ton of certifications. Some are personal trainer, prenatal, postnatal certified, strength conditioning, the list goes long and long. But yeah, my bachelor's in science and exercise sports science.
Wow, that's great. So we're in a great establishment here. We're going to talk a lot about that today.
Yes.
But so tell us what happened. You were at the Masonic Lodge building, and how did it progress to here?
So from the Masonic Lodge building, I outgrew that location. I loved that location. It was beautiful. And I went into the Union Wharf location. I was there for probably like 2 years. And I also was outgrowing that. It just didn't have everything that I wanted. Not enough for my athletes that I wanted to target. I found out that the Bijou was available.
How'd you hear about that?
So a friend of mine, Nate, he owns Sip and Sit Cafe. He, just through conversation, had told me about it, and his landlord was also Julio, so he set me up, and I came and saw the place, and instantly I fell in love. So from there, I started, getting plans together and seeing if I could even pull it off, and I did. Started putting everything together.
So this is quite a project here.
Yes,
I've had the very pleasure of going around and looking at the entire thing, entire Be Balanced Fitness now, and what you've done to the old Bijou Theater.
Yes.
And lots of memories of this Bijou Theater here as being younger and coming to the movies here. Total transformation.
Yes.
Must have been costly.
Very.
So who paid for this?
So I paid for it, and I also got a bunch of sponsors, local businesses that donated. I got banners on the wall for them, and pretty much their donations helped me put the court floor in.
Okay.
So that was huge. And then I used savings, and I got a loan out, and kind of just hustled to get everything together. You have one budget together, and you think that's going to be it, and then X, Y, and Z happens, and so it was a lot more costly than I thought it was going to be, for sure. It was a bigger project than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be a big project, but I didn't think it was going to be this big.
You've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
This is quite a transformation. You wouldn't know that it was a theater, at one point, but a lot of people have good memories when they come in here.
Yes.
So tell us some of the services that you're offering now. So
I still offer personal training. I like to keep that the same as I always had it, very private and personal. So I do personal training, fitness classes, sports training. I now have gym memberships, so you can just get a gym membership and go freely work out. We have block times for that. That way it doesn't interrupt our personal training clients.
Okay.
I now have a basketball court, so you can rent it out for either just an open gym, or you can rent it out for team practices, for soccer, basketball. Pickleball is coming, so I'm gonna be having hopefully 2 courts in here.
Okay.
Rentals for birthday parties, events. Actually, tomorrow I have a vendor fair, so I'm doing a women-owned business vendor fair. So I have 15 businesses that are coming in here, and they're gonna, show what they have and sell their products or services. and kind of everyone coming together and supporting each other.
You're really bringing the community in.
Yes, that's the whole, that's the idea. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm doing soccer camps. I just had my first futsal tournament, which was a huge success. That was a lot of fun. I have different basketball teams that are renting out.
The South Coast Basketball Club.
Yep, South Coast Basketball Club. She's been great. She's been renting out. Doing a soccer camp. I've already done a clinic. Teamed up with St. Michael's and we did a clinic here. I'm doing a summer program for the kids. The idea is to provide a space where our youth can just have a safe space to go. And hopefully I can continue to do that.
It certainly seems like you are.
Thank you.
So you have other personal fitness coaches also?
Yes.
Besides yourself?
Yep. I have Courtney Soares. She's been with me for quite a few years. She's amazing. My gosh, she has helped so much. And Rico Gomes, he's been with me for quite some time too. He's also amazing. Everyone loves both of them. And you can't get better employees than the two of them. They're just
That's great.
The real deal. Yeah.
So how does one get a gym membership here?
So you can either go right on vagaro.com.
Okay.
And you would just go to my business and you can just click the drop down and it shows like all the offerings that I have. Or you can come straight here. You can call, email, yeah.
And what are your hours of operation?
So we open at 6 a.m. and we close by 9 p.m.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're open all day.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, all day. So I read some of your reviews, and you can get that on your website as well.
Correct.
And they were outstanding.
Yes, they
They
are.
were outstanding. People really do value your knowledge of fitness and your space, your environment. Very important.
It is.
So people can reach you through that website.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And then if they want to sign up or even find out about classes, they can sign up on
they
that
can do it.
website?
Yep, sign up for classes right through that website. If they want to book like the court, a birthday party or anything like that, they can either call or email or come right in here.
Well, being from North Fairhaven, I have to say that you've really, taken a huge step, a leap, for someone, and a risk, because this is a big venture
Yes.
for you. But you've definitely helped revitalize North Fairhaven
Thank
with
you
this
so much.
with this addition here.
Thank you.
I know that Dave, I'm sure, has taken many photos, so people are going to be able to see the beauty here. But
Yes.
we definitely want to encourage people to sign up for membership.
Yes, sign up.
Come in here, and I like the way you're doing so many things for the community as well.
Thank you.
You're really reaching out to the community. I know that the Rotary Club held an
Yes.
event here after the Easter egg hunt.
We did, yeah.
So you're reaching out to many organizations. And so what are some other things coming up in the future?
So, like I said, tomorrow is the vendor fair. Then I have some soccer clinics coming up.
And your website is always updating it along the
Yeah,
way.
I post in social media too. Everyone can follow me on my social media. I try and keep that updated as much as possible. But I'm going to be having more tournaments, some more pop-up shops, trying to get as many businesses out there too. It's having a small business is hard. So
Yes.
having as many people working together, it's really important.
Okay, so Braley, let's back it up just a little bit,
Okay.
because there was a lot of process that went into this historic building.
Yes.
Starting as Keith's Theater, then Bijou Theater, and then it was left abandoned.
Correct.
So what steps and processes did you have to go through in order to make this into the beauty that it is right now?
So when I first came in here, I came, like I said, my friend Nate had brought me, and it was just my own view of what it was. Now, my father is a developer, and that's his profession. So he knows everything to do with construction. So I had put a bug in his ear about it, and I had told him that I wanted him to come check it out before I made any moves, because he would point me in the right direction. So he came in here and he was like, whoa. He was like, this is going to need a lot of work, and it's going to take a lot of money. So I'm like, can it be done? And he's like, of course it can be done. It's just a huge project. So, you know, I hired his guys, his subcontractors, and if it wasn't for those guys, I mean, it probably would not have happened, because they just put so much time. They worked so hard. My dad has helped so much through this whole, if it wasn't for him, I would not be able to do it either. So just having that a good circle of, you know, good people helping you out, that's what it's all about, everyone working together. But yeah, this place was a wreck. Like, it was just sitting for
it was abandoned for
20
so long.
years or something like that. So, you know, leaks and holes and just so much to be repaired and just bring back to life. And I think that's like, I'm so proud of, you know, everything that myself and, you know, the guys that have helped me do all this. Like, you look at the pictures, I have so many pictures. You look at the pictures on what it was and, you know, what it is now. And, you know, there's so many people that said it couldn't be done. And, you know, they had their doubts about it. And, you know, even Julio, he was just like rooting for this to happen the whole time. So, you know, he was in my corner to help, like, make sure that he's like, you can do it. And, you know, I knew I could do it, but obviously, you know, you have your doubts. It's such a big project, and nothing went as planned at all. Nothing went as planned. But yeah, we renovated it all, and it looks like this now. And
it looks great. I really encourage our viewers to come in, you know, and join Be Balanced Fitness, because you've made a difference in our community, Braley.
Thank you.
You really have. And, you know, hopefully now that you've revitalized this great space, you know, it'll be here for another 100 years now.
I hope so.
But, well, our community cannot thank you enough. Number one, you're providing such a healthy product, you know, for people's, you know, betterment of their lives, you know, and you've bettered the community. And our North Fairhaven is the successor also because of this great venture that you did.
Correct.
And I know it wasn't easy,
no.
But you had a vision, you had a mission, and you've seen it to completion here. So congratulations on your new venture here at Be Balanced Fitness right in North Fairhaven at the old Bijou Theater. And I encourage our viewers to come out, meet Braley, get a membership. You'll be healthier for it.
Yes, please.
And you get to see this incredible space, which is better than any gym I've ever seen.
Thank you so much. And I'm so proud to have a business in Fairhaven.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you, Braley, and we wish you the best of luck from the magazine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Welcome back to the magazine. Today we're at Nasketucket Vineyards, which is new in Fairhaven here. And we're with Nick, Christy, and Angelique, Castriano, and Rupert. Nasketucket Bay Vineyards, I must add.
Correct.
Thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's start from the beginning. How did you both meet?
Well, I purchased this property in 2016, and then a few years later, I was kind of commuting back and forth from the Worcester area. I decided to move down here. I bought a place in Mattapoisett, and I had a band project that we played in different venues in Worcester that I had left behind. And as a musician, I was looking to start something new down here. And I put an ad out for different musicians to create a little acoustic ensemble. And she was one of the few that answered the ad.
Okay.
So yeah, I was on this website called Bandmix, which is like a classified online ads for musicians. And he reached out to me, and we met up at Moby Dick's and had a beer and talked about a few beers, talked about starting a band together. And then we never did that. We ended up dating instead and got caught up in the vineyard.
We started rehearsing. We got about 3 or 4 rehearsals in a month under our belt, and we found out that we were going to date instead. So the project never kind of got off the ground.
Never got off the ground. We started getting into the vineyard stuff. And but now we will be getting the music together now that we finally have our own venue to do it in.
Sure.
And so we're going to be getting the band back together, as I like to say.
We're bringing them down. We're going to be starting June 15th, I think, is our first Saturday night out on the patio. And we're going to start doing that at least monthly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
we typically
great.
don't have music on Saturdays, so that will be the kind of piloting of the having the band on Saturday nights here. So
great.
We're finally getting back to the
You're
music
getting
together 5 years later.
That's okay. That's okay. So you started out, with the music, but then you purchased a 52-acre farm, basically.
Yeah.
And what was your vision for this?
Well, when I first saw it and we decided to purchase it, it was for my landscape construction business. Mm-hmm. And since this is agricultural use, we thought we could maybe start a tree nursery. We pull a lot of trees off of projects. We plant them in the grounds. We bring them back to health. And we were going to start doing some new tree growing and kind of worked hand in hand with our landscape business. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And it was absolutely woods to the streets. And when we cleared it all out, you could barely get to this barn. There was trailer trucks and boats and around it. And we got it all cleared out and put in a road and shaped up. And then this little area right outside the barn, I saw that and I said, well, this is agricultural. And mm-hmm. I've been making wine for years. Started off watching my grandfather make wine when he came over from Italy, and we grew up drinking that Sunday meals. And
is that called viticulture?
Viticulture is the production and the management of the vines.
Okay.
And so I decided, I'd been making wine with friends and family for the past 25 years, and decided, why not try to grow some grapes here and put a little vineyard, kind of my own personal vineyard out here. And once I started, it was hard to stop. It's a beautiful, beautiful process. And when you see the grapes growing, it's like magic. You've created this. And I just kind of continued from 2017 to another plot in 2018 and 19 and 20 and 21. And now we got 4 acres planted.
Wow, that's great. So it started at plot A and then it just developed.
Exactly. And plot A was just a test, couple reds, couple whites, and try to see what grew well, what we liked. And while I was at it, I wanted to put in a little orchard, so I put in 180 fruit trees out front. We got pears, peaches, plums, apples, and some cherries, and we wanted to start incorporating that into the wines as well, now that we're starting to get some harvests.
Oh, that's great. So there was an old barn on the property. In fact, I think we're in the old barn right now.
We are.
How was that restored?
You wouldn't even recognize it. It was an old dairy barn. The floor was up 2 feet high, so you came in and the roof was low, and there's troughs built in this way and that way where they rinse everything out and clean out the barn. And it was just, the windows weren't here. It was corrugated plastic that you couldn't see through. And so we basically started, I think it was in 2018, kind of cleaning it up and starting to structurally make sure it was sound. And then we did a metal roof. We put all new wood board and batten siding. We put some barn sash windows and kind of started to look like something. But it wasn't until like this end of last summer where we started to focus on turning it into a wine bar on the inside. And it was an intense, very intense winter project for us to do what it is now.
So you have a tasting room and you have a farm store?
We do, yeah. So we have a mercantile farm store, which basically focuses on our merchandise. You can get sweatshirts, hats, and I have a lot of local artists that have supplied us with art on our walls that you can purchase, as well as we have resin art glasses and a lot of wine theme related items in the store to purchase. And then we also have the food store, which has local cheeses, meats, crackers. I tried to purchase as much locally as I could from local farms and local businesses. We want to support local as much as we can. And so you can make your own charcuterie board, grab a picnic basket, fill it with whatever you like. We have truffles by Dee in there, who's very popular in town. We have cookies from Rolling in the Dough in Marion. So we have a lot of local companies that are represented here.
All very delicious.
And they're all very delicious, and we've gotten great reviews on everything for the food. So it's been really awesome to have them all here.
Well, just so our viewers know, it does look delicious, let me tell you.
I'm a foodie, and I picked out all the food, so I pride myself in that.
We're both Italian and we're both foodies. So,
good, yeah.
wine and food is a natural thing together. So we needed to make sure we had something.
No one comes to the vineyard and leaves hungry.
That's
Tell you
good.
that.
That's good. So this is your first year open to the public, pretty much. So what are some of the events that are happening here at the vineyard?
So we try to keep a pretty weekly routine. We have Fridays, we have Fido Fridays, which dogs are generally welcome at the vineyard, but we really want to highlight them on Fridays. From 3 to 8 on Fridays, we have a food truck here. We have 15% off of wine flights and 15% off of charcuterie boards, which are dog treats that are made to look like charcuterie boards. It's actually the inspiration for Fido Fridays when I saw them. On Sundays, we have music from 2 to 5, and we have food trucks every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So Fridays 3 to 8, Saturdays 3 to 8, and then 12 to 5 for the food trucks on Sunday.
Okay. All right. And do you have any, I noticed that you have a Mother's Day brunch coming up.
We do. So we have a lot of different special events for holidays. We have a Mother's Day brunch, a Father's Day brunch, Memorial Day. We have live music here, and the Ox Cart food truck, which is the Oxford Creamery food truck. So you can pre-order your lunch through them. You can get a lobster roll and an ice cream sundae here waiting for you when you show up. We have 4th of July, we have live music, Labor Day, and I believe Columbus Day. Starting in June on Thursday nights, we also have what's called maker sessions, where we have different local crafters coming in and teaching different craft mediums to people. Those are from 6 to 8, so we close the vineyard at 6, and that is specifically for the crafter sessions from 6 to 8, and those are all ticketed events as well. So, and to be clear, we don't require reservations for you to come to the vineyard. I think we threw everybody for a loop with the grand opening. We did tickets and sessions to kind of do a crowd control for our new staff and kind of know what to expect. But general business hours, you are welcome to come and taste our wines, and you don't have to make a reservation unless it's a large group. Open to the public.
Thursday through Sunday. Okay, awesome. And how would someone get, like, if they wanted to go to one of these ticketed events, how would they find out? How would they go about doing that?
So there's always links on our website. If you go to our events calendar and click on any of the events, you can get the link to the ticket is right there. We also post them on Facebook as events as well, which also has the link to the tickets, and everything is done through Eventbrite for our ticketing. So even if you go to Eventbrite and search for Nasketucket Bay Vineyard, all of our events will pop up there as well. So
okay. So what is in the future for this amazing vineyard?
Oh, wow. So we've actually started out with some ambitious plans that we've put a lot of it on the back burner because just opening up was enough, just to get to this point. But we've got a storyboard that we play on our TV once in a while, and it shows that we want to do a mini farm out further back in the vineyard with like sheep, mini sheep and chicken, a little mini sheep, baby doll sheep that can graze the vineyard, and it's beneficial. I'm really big on natural, so we want to keep the environment as natural as possible. We took a crack at a little mini farm with growing pumpkins and cutting flowers last year, and we pretty much failed miserably because the time constraints on doing everything, and it's just us. And we're, it was up until this point, it was us pruning and mowing and weeding and spraying and doing everything, and the weeds kind of overtook. And every time I got a big, beautiful pumpkin, I'd come back and it'd be eaten in half by, I think it was deer or woodchucks or bunnies. And so we want to do the pumpkin farm. We want to do the cutting flowers. We want to do the mini farm with the sheep. And we also want to start planning for some events. We have a big, beautiful green space out in the vineyard. Okay. If and when we get a tent, we're creating a mobile bar out of an old horse trailer that we can put back there to serve wine. So we have a lot of plans. Have I forgotten anything?
We also want to expand into ciders as well once the orchard is fully producing as well. So we want to add more items to our menu as time goes on. We get a lot of questions about beer. Okay. We don't have beer on our menu yet, but maybe someday we will. I think our next step will probably be cider because that falls under our Farm Series pour permit already. Okay. So we're licensed to do that. So that'll probably be where our next efforts are focused on. But we have a lot of plans for this place, I think. We want to have harvest hosts here at some point in time too, so people can camp on the property.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely weddings would be the next thing. We have a lot of requests for larger functions, and we just don't have the space or the infrastructure for it just yet. But that's most definitely in the plans for next year or the year after that.
I was just going to say, I thought that a lot of people would probably be questioning, when they could have their wedding here.
Oh yeah, yeah, we get a lot of questions.
A dozen inquiries this spring about weddings, and it would be great to be able to do that at some point. We got to clear more area for more parking, lawn parking and space for all those things, and we have to grow into that. I think we made a decision not to do it at least the first year, and I think that was smart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was definitely overwhelming enough to get open, and I think taking on somebody's most important day in their life with their wedding was something I wanted to be able to make sure I had clear focus on. Nick and I are both still working our full-time jobs as well throughout this first year, so there's a lot of pressure to just be able to get everything done that we're doing right now, and manage to still be able to go to work during the week when we're not open here.
Absolutely, absolutely. So you're primarily the winemaker then?
I am. Yeah, that was a big thing for me, because it had always been, it's friends and family. We're drinking it. I don't know if we did 40 cases or something a year, and if it's not so great, we drink it anyway. And so I was really, really worried about releasing my wine to the public. I was, I was on every detail and stressed out about every little thing, making sure it was right. Mm-hmm. And when I finally did release it, I was pleasantly surprised at the reviews of the wines from top to bottom. People loved the wines. And that was just, a huge relief, first of all, and huge satisfaction to finally be there where people are enjoying our wines. And we had to suspend bottle sales after the first couple weeks because bottles and cases were flying out the door. And it was tough to figure out how much to make the first year, and we had limited grapes, and we added some other grapes to that, and did some blends and created what we could, and went out with like 500 cases, and saw how quickly that was going, which was a great problem. Everyone was enjoying the wines, and they were selling by the bottles and by the cases, but we had to make the tough decision to suspend the bottle sales for now, until I could figure out how to add more wine to get us through the year. Because really, primarily, we want to sell it to people here by the glass, tastings, flights, enjoy the facility. As much as we want them to take it home, the primary focus is to serve it here. So I've been sourcing grapes from around the world, Chilean, South African, and Portugal, that I have some actually starting to come in within the next couple weeks. And we're going to have a second half release of some new wines, which will get us through the season.
Well, great. Well, I can't thank you both enough for what you've brought to our community. It's so great to have a vineyard in our community, and someone that people can go and have a wine tasting, entertainment, So thank you both for bringing that to our community.
And we've been hearing that a lot from the people in the community, which we love the fact that they really excited about this, and they've been thanking us for creating a special place right in their own backyard.
A place to gather, for sure, yeah.
Absolutely. So once again, just your hours of operation.
So hours of operation, we're open Thursdays from 11 to 6, Fridays and Saturdays from 11 to 8, and Sundays from 11 to 6.
Well, great. Well, thanks again, and Nasketucket Bay Vineyards.
Yes.
It's a place to be this summer.
We could have done it easy and just called it Fairhaven Vineyards, but
No, that's good. Nasketucket Bay has a connection, so that's all good. Well, once again, thanks for coming on the show and letting our viewers know about this great gem that we have right here in Fairhaven.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.